Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we crack open the story behind the numbers. And today we're looking at GrowGeneration Corp, which seems to be changing accountants like I change my streaming subscriptions. Alright, let's dive into this report from July 2025. GrowGeneration Corp is letting us know about a pretty significant shakeup. So the big news here is that GrowGeneration has parted ways with its accounting firm Grant Thornton LF 10th of 2025 and was given the thumbs up by the company's audit committee. Now, Grant Thornton's audit reports for 2023 and 2024 weren't exactly glowing. While they didn't give a negative opinion or a disclaimer, they did point out issues with GrowGeneration's internal controls over financial reporting. Basically, Grant Thornton found that the company didn't have everything buttoned up in terms of keeping its financial information accurate and reliable. This was actually mentioned in their previous annual reports too, so it's not entirely new information, but it's a red flag nonetheless. GrowGeneration told Grant Thornton what they were going to say in this report and asked them to confirm it. Grant Thornton did, and their response, a letter dated July 11th, the day after the dismissal, is actually included as an exhibit with this filing. This is standard practice to ensure transparency when changing auditors. Now, for the other side of the coin, GrowGeneration has brought in a new accounting firm, BDO US LLP. They were appointed on the very same day, July 10th, to handle the audits for 2025 and any interim periods. The audit committee also approved this move. Interestingly, through July 10th of 2025, the company and its representatives hadn't actually consulted BDO on any accounting matters. This means BDO is coming in fresh without any prior advisory role. This could be a good thing as it means they are truly independent, or it could mean they have a lot of catching up to do to understand the company's financial nuances. We don't have any information here about disagreements or any significant problems that might have spurred this change beyond what was already disclosed about internal controls and this Exhibit 16.1. That letter from Grant Thornton will be where we can see their official confirmation of GrowGeneration's statements. It's always worth a quick look if you want to get the auditor's perspective directly. The report is signed off by Darren Lampert, the Chief Executive Officer, on July 14th, 2025, just a few days after these significant accounting changes were made. Now, looking at this filing, the main story isn't about financial performance itself, but rather a change in the very people who are supposed to be verifying that performance. GrowGeneration is switching auditors, moving from Grant Thornton to BDO. This usually happens for a few key reasons. Maybe the company is unhappy with the service, or perhaps they're looking for a fresh perspective, especially given Grant Thornton's concerns about internal controls. The fact that Grant Thornton's reports mention material weaknesses in internal control over financial report mention material weaknesses in internal control over financial reports mention material weaknesses in internal control over financial reporting as of December 31, 2024 and 2023. Is a significant piece of information. It suggests that the company has had trouble consistently maintaining strong systems to ensure its financial data is accurate. This can make investors nervous as it implies a higher risk of errors or even fraud. The timing of this change right after those audit reports strongly suggests that the issues with internal controls played a major role in the decision to switch. By bringing in a new firm, GrowGeneration might be hoping for a cleaner slate and a more streamlined audit process, and for BDO to help them address these control weaknesses. However, the lack of prior consultation with BDO means they are starting from scratch. So what does this mean for GrowGeneration? On one hand, changing auditors can be a sign of a company proactively addressing issues like those internal control problems. On the other hand, it can also be seen as a red flag, indicating potential instability or disagreements about financial reporting. Investors will be watching closely to see if BDO can effectively audit the company and, more importantly, if they can help GrowGeneration strengthen its internal controls. The real test will be in BDO's future audit reports. If they continue to find material weaknesses, then the change of auditors might not solve the underlying problems. But if BDO provides a clean opinion and signs off on improved controls, it could signal a positive turn for the company and, more importantly, if they can help GrowGeneration strengthen its internal controls. The real test will be in BDO signs off on improved controls. It could signal a positive turn for the company's financial health and reliability. It's a bit like changing doctors when you're not happy with the diagnosis, hoping the new one has better solutions. Alright, that's our breakdown of GrowGeneration Corp's auditor change. What's your take on these moves and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.